Yo, what's going on, dudes? HK Titan here with a brand new video for you guys, and in today's video, we are going to be doing another viewer challenge. So for today's viewer challenge, we are going to be using a primary AU's recommendation, and that is to beat the normal Dreadbloon using only tier 4 towers. So we cannot use any other towers other than tier 4s, and of course our hero. So we're not going to be able to use the Banana Central, we can't use the Monkey Oplips. So this video should be pretty difficult, or this challenge should be pretty difficult. So the main issue I'm gonna have, I'm not too worried about the tier 1 and tier 2. The tier 3 is when things are gonna start to get a little bit interesting, because I'm not exactly sure what towers I want to go for the tier 3. The only thing that comes to my mind is to like use a Sun Temple, because the Sun Temple is a tier 4, but the only question is if I'm gonna be able to afford it. Now, if you guys have been around the channel for a while, you guys have seen a lot of my boss videos, so you guys already know my basics for farming. I generally go for like 5200 banana farms, and I'm actually going to be trying something a little bit different today. I'm going to be using a engineer monkey instead of upgrading straight to a marketplace, because in the last video that I did, for some reason I ended up with a bunch of cash, so I want to try to replicate that as best as I can. So the first most important thing when farming for a boss balloon is just trying to get down as many banana farms as you possibly can before you need to grab a little bit of extra defense. So my general rule of thumb whenever I go for extra defense is I always go for towers that I'm going to be using to make me money. So the engineer monkey is the big one, so I want to try and last as long as I can before I need to buy my engineer. So hopefully I can get 2 banana farms upgraded to a 200 before I need to buy that engineer. All right, so round 13, we have our 2 banana farms upgraded to a 200. We have 133 lives left, so we're actually doing really good. The next thing I need to do is I need to grab myself an engineer monkey, and I'm just going to be placing down a 000 engineer monkey, and then I'm going to try to buy myself another farm. All right, so we have 4 banana farms upgraded to a 200, and the Bloons are starting to give us a little bit of a hard time. So now I'm going to upgrade this engineer monkey up to oversized nails with pin, and then I'm going to try to grab the last banana farm and upgrade it to another 200. All right, so round 22, we have all 5 of our banana farms down. Let's go ahead and buy ourselves the double guns, and then the next thing we want to do is we want to save up the $3,500 for balloon trap. Then after we have our balloon trap, I also want to grab myself a lead to gold, then swap its targeting over to targeting strong, because we are playing on the Dreadbloon, so we will have a couple of lead balloons slip through, so it's always nice to have a lead to gold to make that little bit of extra cash from the lead balloons. All right, so round 35, we have all of our marketplaces down. We have our lead to gold. We also have our balloon trap, and then I think we should be good at this point in time. Now, the next thing I want to do, I want to go ahead and grab myself my ninja monkey, or my ninja monkeys. So we'll go ahead and grab ourselves 2 sticky bombs, and then after we grab the 2 sticky bombs, I'll grab myself like 4 Moab Maulers, and the 4 Moab Maulers should be enough to take down the tier 1 Dreadbloon. All right, so there's our second sticky bomb, and then like I was saying, we're gonna go ahead and grab ourselves 4 Moab Maulers. We'll place these Maulers right here like so, and then we'll be upgrading them mid-round. So there's 1 Moab Mauler, and then we'll go ahead and swap its targeting over to targeting strong. We'll grab ourselves a second Moab Mauler and swap its targeting over to targeting strong as well, and then we're gonna do the same thing with these 2 Moab Maulers right here. All right, so there we go. We have 4 Moab Maulers with our ninja monkeys. The last thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and grab myself primary training to increase the damage on these Moab Maulers, and then I want to go ahead and grab myself a Dragon's Breath, because we're going to be using the Dragon's Breath as like our defense after we get done beating the boss. So the only thing left to do is to deal with support, and we have officially dealt with support. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sell everything that isn't our Dragon's Breath and these money-making towers right here. We're going to go ahead and upgrade the Star Monkey up to Sharpshooter, and we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves an Alchemist, but I only want our Alchemist to buff our Dart Monkey and our Wizard Monkey. There we go. Now that we've done all of that, the next thing we want to do is we want to start grabbing ourselves some BRFs. Actually, before we grab our BRF, there's one more thing we need to grab. We need to grab ourselves an Overclock, and I'm actually going to take advantage of the Overclock here, and I'm going to throw a Cleansing Foam over top of this balloon trap. That way the Cleansing Foam will reveal camo balloons, and the balloon trap can go ahead and suck up those camo balloons. All right, so here's our Overclock. Now we'll go ahead and overclock the BRF, and now we'll just try to buy as many BRFs as we can before the tier 2 boss. Now, what I have planned for the tier 2 boss is I think I'm going to use a dark champion and snipers for the tier 2 because the dark champion should be able to shred the tier 2 boss. All right, so round 59, we have 7 banana farms. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and grab myself my super monkey, and then we'll start saving up to buy the dark champion. So because the dark champion is only $55,000, it's not going to take us too long to actually be able to afford it. But while we're saving up for that, I want to go ahead and grab myself, I don't know, maybe like 12 snipers, because these snipers will go ahead and upgrade them to deal with the boss along with the dark champion. All right, so here is our dark champion. Now, before I start upgrading these snipers, there is one thing I want to grab, and I want to grab a spike storm because I want to make sure that we don't end up losing to rock balloons. So there's our spike storm. Then the next thing I want to do is I want to upgrade these sniper monkeys up to full auto rifle with large caliber, and this should be enough to take down the Dreadbloon, at least for the tier 2. The only thing we need to do is we need to get past the military immune phase. As long as we can get past this phase, we'll be good. All right, so there we are. We are past the military immune phase. So now we just have the support phase left to go. Now that we are pretty much done here, let's go ahead. We will sell actually, yeah, we'll go ahead and sell the snipers. We'll sell the snipers. We'll keep the dark champion. Actually, we're not going to keep the dark champion because that's a lot of BRFs that it can buy. Instead, we'll go ahead and buy ourselves a sun avatar, and then we'll go ahead and upgrade it up to MIB. That way the sun avatar should be able to deal with all these balloons. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and buy as many BRFs as I can before round 80, and I'll bring you guys back as soon as we're there. So round 74, I'm going to go ahead and stop farming. I will grab one more tower here. I'm going to go ahead and grab myself a monkey city. That way the monkey city should be able to make us a little bit of extra cash. So the plan that I have for the tier 3 boss is I want to go for a sun temple because I mean the sun temple should be able to put out enough damage, but what I want to do is I actually want to upgrade the sun temple up to a support temple because I think the support temple should be able to help us out quite a bit. The only question is if we're going to be able to get enough money in order to actually be able to afford the sun temple as well as all of the sacrifices needed to make it a little bit of a beefy boy. All right, so this should be enough sacrifices for the sun temple. So let's go ahead and buy the sun temple, and then let's go ahead and upgrade it up to epic range. And then I also want to give it a village, that way it can see camo balloons. So let's go ahead and upgrade it up to jungle drums. We'll grab a radar scanner as soon as we have enough money. And now that we have a radar scanner, the next thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and grab ourselves these sniper monkeys. And then with these sniper monkeys, I'm going to go ahead and probably buy quite a few of them, but I want all these snipers to be within range of our sun temple. That way our snipers are getting buffed from the sun temple. Now that we have these snipers, the next thing I want to grab is I want to grab myself a village and place this village right here. And this village will go ahead and upgrade up to a call to arms. Now that we have the call to arms, the next thing I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and buy a bunch of full auto rifles. All right, so there we go. We have quite a few of full auto rifles. Now we just need to get through the military immune phase, and then we need to get through the magic immune phase as well, and then we'll be good to go. The next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and buy the banana farms that I sold in order to get the temple for the tier 2. Then after we do that, we should be good to go. Now I would grab like a dark champion to support our sun temple, but actually I might need to grab a dark champion to support our temple because our sun temple really isn't doing much damage at all. I may have overestimated the sun temple just a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll place a super monkey right here. Let's go ahead and upgrade it up to plasma blast, and then we'll start saving up the $44,000 for the dark champion. Luckily we got the sun temple, so the super monkey dark champion is way cheaper. And guys, is it just me or are the sniper monkeys doing better than our sun temple was? That's so dumb. I can't believe our snipers were out DPSing our sun temple. How is that even possible, especially when I have a bunch of buffs on our sun temple? Oh, it doesn't have the magic support. That's so dumb. All right, well, I guess I'll go ahead and buy a bunch more BRFs, and then once we get up to the tier 4, I'll go ahead and bring you guys back because we're gonna need to grab ourselves a couple more towers for the tier 4 defense. All right, so here we are on round 100. We have $709,000 to work with here, so we have plenty of money. So the next thing I want to grab myself another sun temple first. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and place another sun temple here, and I want to place another sun temple up here. So we're probably going to end up needing to sell a bunch of these farms, then we'll rebuy our farms once we get our temples up. So this is what our defense is going to look like. We have 3 sun temples, we have 4 dark champions, and we're going to be upgrading all of these sniper monkeys up to a 204. So if everything goes according to plan, this should be more than enough to take down the tier 4 Dreadbloon. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure I keep my call to arms activated, but we also need to make sure that we're upgrading these snipers. On top of that, I really need to pay attention to these snipers because I don't want to end up actually grabbing a elite defender, because it only takes 1 second for me to end up messing this up, and then the entire run will be ruined, and that's definitely what we don't want. All right, so now it's immune to military. Let's go ahead and activate our call to arms to get us through the military immune phase, and then we just need a couple more of our snipers upgraded, and then we need to rely heavily on our snipers to deal with the magic immune phase. As long as our snipers can deal with the magic immune phase, we will be golden, dudes. And guys, they were shredding there for a second. What happened? Did my call to arms run out or something? Honestly, I have no idea, but I'm just gonna keep buying these snipers in hopes that they're able to deal with the boss. So far, we took out the shield. Dude, they're doing way better than I thought they would. Like, this is crazy. Let's go ahead and activate another call to arms. So that way, oh, dudes, our snipers shred. Good thing I caught that really, really quick. I actually grabbed the elite defender there for a second because I thought I clicked off and I clicked another sniper. My bad. I know that the elite sniper didn't make a big difference there. It was a little bit of a mistake. So hopefully you guys can forgive me. I want to go ahead and finish upgrading these snipers. That way I don't need to go through and rebuy them and then upgrade them again, because it's really annoying to do this. Let's go ahead and slow this down because I also want to rebuy a couple of my BRFs. That way we get a little bit more money for the tier 5 normal Dreadbloon. All right, so that should do it for our farms. The next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and buy myself a bunch of first strikes, because I think if we grab a bunch of first strikes, this should end up helping us out for the magic immune phase, if I'm not mistaken, because we're going to have a bunch of abilities to use against the boss as soon as it's immune to magic towers. All right, so here we are at the end of round 119. Now the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sell all of my farms, and I want to grab myself one more sun temple, and then after I grab one more sun temple, I'm going to fill up pretty much the entire map with as many dark champions as I can afford, because the dark champions and the super monkeys are going to be like our primary form of popping power, and all of these snipers and monkey subs are to get us through the magic immune phase. And then if we can manage to make it through the magic immune phase, all of our dark champions as well as our sun temples should be able to deal with the rest of the boss. All right, so I think we're ready to take on the boss. So we have 15 dark champions, 4 sun temples, and a boatload of snipers and a boatload of monkey subs. So like I was saying, I think this should be enough to take on the tier 5 Dreadbloon, but it might get a little bit sketchy, so let's go ahead and get started. We're dealing with a little bit of lag. It's nowhere near as bad as when we played up against Dreadbloon, but it's not that bad right now. So right now we are absolutely destroying the primary immune phase. Now what I'm worried about is the military immune phase and the magic immune phase, because I don't know how much damage my snipers are doing right now. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at how much slower it's going. Once our towers are once the boss balloon is immune to military towers, like it's still going pretty quick, but I can definitely notice a little bit of a decrease in the speed. All right, and now it's the magic immune phase, so let's go ahead and activate a homeland defense. We'll trigger all 14 of our first strikes, and we barely took any of its shield away. All right, so this is probably going to take us the longest to deal with. We just need to keep activating our call to arms, and then we also need to activate all of our first strikes as soon as they get it off the cooldown. And as long as we don't reach round 140, we should be able to beat it. All right, so the tier 5 shield is down, and guys, we almost finished with the magic immune phase. As soon as we finish with the magic immune phase, and now we're just gonna absolutely destroy the boss, guys, because now all of our towers are gonna be able to do damage to the boss. Wow, this was a little bit easier than I thought it would be. I mean, it is the Dreadbloon. I wonder how we would do up against Bloonarius if we only use tier 4 towers, because the Bloonarius is a pretty easy boss, but Bloonarius does have a lot more health than the Dreadbloon. So if that's something that you guys would like to see, please feel free to let me know in the comments below. Also, if you guys have any other ideas for challenges that you guys would like to see me do for like a boss events or even other challenges as well, please feel free to let me know in the comments below. And if it sounds fun and doable, I'll go ahead and give it a try. But anyways, dudes, that's gonna do it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys hit that like button, and I'll see you dudes in the next one.